One, two, three, four, five. Yeah.
Good afternoon. Our invocation today is by Melanie Muldown. And there's a backstory to this. A couple of weeks ago, we were at this conference and there was a very serious discussion going on. And there was a little side discussion at the table about a documentary about how beer saved the world. So, yeah, I got us in trouble because then Stu immediately went to go download it. And he was filling up loudly while we were. But then he thought that I was very knowledgeable about beer because I had watched this documentary. That is not true, because that is the extent of my knowledge of beer. So hopefully our speaker today will be able to give us more knowledge in history or go watch that documentary. I did learn while I was getting ready for this that for most of the recorded human history, women have been responsible for supplying the world's beer. And that was omitted from the documentary. I don't know if you're going to talk about that, but I found that interesting. So since the documentary theorizes that beer played a critical role throughout the entire course of human history, I think we should save the beer prayer. Our lager, which art in barrels, hallowed be thy drunk. Thy will be drunk, I will be drunk, at home as in taverns. Give us this day our foamy head, and forgive our spillages, as we forgive those that spill against us, and lead us not into incarceration, but deliver us from hangovers. For thine is the beer, the bitter, and the lager, forever and ever, amen. And now the lightning strike. Our song leader is Susan Zielbrook. Not 99 bottles, I hope. Actually, you all know the lyrics to What Do You Do with a Drunken Sailor, right? What do you do with a drunken sailor? Easiest one I know. God bless. God bless. And night, through the night, with the light from the mountain, to the trail, to the ocean, white they fall. God bless America, my home. Oh, God bless America, my home. Thanks, Susan. Our Sergeant at Arms today is Past President Tom Thomas. Okay. See, I moved the flag because it was in the way and I didn't want to knock it over. Please join me in the pledge. Be seated. And our Sergeant at Arms is still Tom Thomas. Do we have international visitors today? No international visitors. Do we have visiting Rotarians today?
Visiting Rotarian. Going once. Going twice?
Guests of Rotarians, I know we have guests.
Yes, a Rotarian. Aha. Hiking them.
So today my guest is Rick Upchurch, again attending our luncheon for the second time. He likes us, retired Broncos players, other history in the football world, and also a member of the NFLA, which is the NFL alumni. Welcome, my friend Rick. Thank you. Welcome back.
Yes.
Jim Hunt has a guest.
We actually have a guest at the club today. We have Tucker Sappington from UNLV. He's the Senior Director of Alumni Engagement. He's shown some interest in community service, so I told him to come check out this amazing organization. So please help me welcome Tucker.
Oh,
I have a guest today. It is my daughter Isabella. She's joining. She has some interest in Rotary, and she's joining a Rotarian meeting for the very first time.
nice. Welcome.
All right, so there's something that's kind of coincidental about this, but Larry Tomczyk is here from Florida, past president, a past member of our club. And his son, Kyle Alexander Tomczyk, is here to join us. And you all know how special Larry is to me because of the yes.
On the other side of the room. Hi, I'd like to introduce Rita Tuttle. She is the senior switch, and she's the guest of the club today. She's the Rotary Club. So welcome. Nice to have you here today. Any other guests of the team today? We have guests of the club.
Hi, Cassie. Great players on the other side.
Of course, and then Susan went the other way.
You need your steps, Tom. I'd like to introduce my friend Trevor Bob. He is working with the Las Vegas Super Bowl host committee, and he's helping bring the Super Bowl to Las Vegas. Ready, go.
Thank you. As Mike mentioned, I'm the Senior Vice President of Policy Operations. Great to hear. Thanks, man.
Nice to have you. Melanie, are you ready to leave? I think it's the final last guest of the club, but John Pizer is here again. Oh. And Larry's phone, somebody over here. Hey. I'd like to take a minute and introduce our head table. We have our speaker today, Lisa Hamilton, Skip Norfolk, Austin Wyrick, our foundation chair, Gary Boss, and Chris Rodenfeld. So please help me welcome the head table. And we'll take a quick picture. How are we doing too? Everybody smile. Thank you. Okay, we have a whole bunch of announcements today. Jason Federico, can you tell us about the Veterans Dinner?
Yeah, we had a wonderful time. I think the handful that went last Tuesday to the U.S. Veterans Facility served 60, 70 veterans. We had baked chicken, baked beans, cornbread, and dessert as well. Uh, my hope is that we have our own thing. Hopefully, we can do that. A lot of fun interactive. We get 30 to 30 times. Thanks for letting me do that. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jason. And David Jones is over here.
Thank you, President Katie. I have two announcements. The first one is it's Saturday. We have our beach. And for those of you that have not signed up, it's okay. You can show up. You can bring anybody that you want. Our only constraint is if you come, you bring something to service. Other than cleaning up, which would be about 2 hours, there's not a lot of cleanup that's out there. 10:30, we're going to start jet. You can sign up for the jet ski. There's a rocket ship and a rocket ship. There are two very fun jet skis that will be there. So we'll just start. Everybody will just get a chance to just go out and have some fun. And then Russ will show up with his boat at 11 o'clock. So we'll be there. But noon. So he knew. I'm corrected. That's okay. We'll still have a lot of stuff. So here's the thing that you need to know. If you don't sign up on the green sheet, then you won't get an email from me. So today, saying all of the things that are included in the pop-up. It's okay. Just bring whatever you want to share with whoever else. Probably if you have a pop-up canopy or a tent, that may be good. But if you don't, that's fine. You're just going to sit in the sun. Or we're all going to crowd into the one that you know we have. The important thing you need to know is we will meet at Hemingway Harbor Boat Dock. That's where everybody will park. So don't go to where you're going to go. There's maps here on the table. Hemingway Harbor, the boat dock. So park there. We'll all then go clean up, and then we'll move after we do the cleanup to where the tent and road and the set. The important thing, again, that you need to know is when you go into the park, the rangers will ask for either $15 or $25, or you give them this password. You pronounce it this way intentionally. Password is striped fast. So striped fast is the password. If you tell that, they will let you go right in without having to pay. You just right to Hemingway Harbor, meet up with everybody else. We'll go clean up for a couple hours. So please bring everybody, bring family and friends. It is not restricted. There's no restriction on the number of people that we have there. So if you just decide you talk to friends tonight and they want to come out and clean up and ride around on some boats and jet skis, just bring it. It doesn't matter. Just make sure that they've got to bring some food. Second thing is on here's the second thing is June 1st, we will have our 25 Club educational social. It's going to be at Suzette's house, and it will be covering the topic of the foundation and all the good that the foundation does. And with that, thank you.
Thanks, David. Kirk Alexander's right behind you. I hope so.
Saturday, the 10th of June, the District 5300 is going to be building out for a family that is very deserving of what's about to happen to them. They have been doing community service for the last 4 years, accumulating almost 1,200 hours of service. And the people from Rotary pick this family because of the service that they've done. So it should be really good and exciting build. The family has 3 kids that are part of the family, and it's always a joy when there's little ones. Part of the money that we spend on build for Super Build is given to the family for education. Not all 100% of the funds that they collect for the bill, it goes to put together. So safe and sound and secure is the bottom line of all of this. It's in a place to call home. And so we're gonna meet in Chula Vista, so San Diego area. In a caravan into the construction site into town. So, well, everybody will meet, there'll be a rendezvous in Chula Vista at 5:30 a.m. There's orientation that usually concludes around 6:15. And then from there, all cars are marked that are part of the trip. With, there's an antenna marked for each one. And the crew that brings us in is very cognizant of everybody that's in that caravan. So we're making sure that everybody's collected at the border and then on to June 10, there's probably a full day of really hard work in the sun. So sunscreen, water, some snacks of your own. The family that we're building for provides food for all the volunteers that are at the building. We usually out of it between 4:30 and 5 o'clock. So in one day, you're going to change your life. Family is very well deserved. If you have any questions, there's some things on the district website that are kind of important. Yeah, yeah. This is through Japan. This is different than Rotary is. You're never doing that again. He's referring to a job that we did that didn't go well when we returned. There was a problem at the border. Somebody had that call. Anyway, um, there are arrangements that are made by Pizza in Chula Vista. Everything that's on the website gives you details of where we're going to stay, what we're building, what to bring, certain things that you might want to consider, um, all the details of how you get registered to be part of the build. There's two parts to that. One part is for District 5200, and the other part is for Horizon themselves. They have a manifest of people that have to be registered for the thing who's in and who's out. And that's on the district website, on the calendar for the June 10th day.
And if you're interested in going, you need to sign up right away because you're about to close the registration.
Yeah, you still got another, there's about 10 days.
Okay,
Thanks, everybody.
thanks, Chris. Tom Kern has an announcement to make. Hi, everyone. This week, on the 13th and 16th, I believe, or it could have been 15th or 17th, we received an email. Haven't seen it, so look for it. There's one that has to do with committee seats, like that. And the other is, it's the pledge sheet. If any of you are looking at me like you're in the headlights and don't know what I'm talking about, please open up your email, search high and low for admin, New Year's documents. Very important. We have only until next week, Wednesday, I believe it is, to turn it in. And my goal is to make Sean's job easier. So if you want to help me make her job easier, everyone in this room, please fill out the pledge sheet completely, get it turned in to Sean before the 23rd. And please, everyone, in doing what the board wants to do in terms of getting more engagement of all of our members, new and old, please fill out at least one or more of the committees on the committee sign-up sheet. If you have any questions, there's a million people here that have to provide you information. So please make a commitment. Let's do it. Let's keep Sean happy. Thank you. Thank you. We have a highway cleanup coming up on June 10th. So we meet at mile marker out at Red Rock, 8 o'clock in the morning. So put that on your calendar, June 10th. And we'll have brunch at Jerry Senna's house after that. Mike Ballard has an announcement to make.
We are throwing that woman out. Mark it on your calendar, June 29th. We'd like all you to show up. We're going to have some great food and some great fun. And we've been working on the skit. It'll be awesome. And I appreciate all the committee members that are helping us out.
Thanks, Mike. Bob Warner has a presentation tonight.
It is my pleasure to introduce you to Alaska Bradford, our J.A. of Puberty scholarship winner. And we have her grandma over there joining her. Just going to say a few words.
Everybody, everybody at Bradford certainly is going to be a junior year at UNLV for construction management. I am very honored and thankful for the opportunity everybody has provided me with this scholarship that allows me to continue my education. I hope to be graduated in spring 2025. My goal is to hopefully not have to pay any money for school. We'll see how it goes. But so far, we're doing good. I've been working very hard. My classes, so thank you again, everybody, and I hope to do this and see what it is. Great stuff.
Thank you. We're going to
You. Gary Voss. I saw you take a bite. Sorry.
So, Madam President, to announce that at our last Board of Trustees meeting, we appointed 2 new trustees. They are Brian Sorrentino and Mike Ballard. Now, our rules require that the club ratify those appointments. So, Madam President, I move that we ratify the appointment of these 2 new trustees.
All in favor? Anybody opposed? No abstentions?
Motion carried.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Congratulations. Secondly, we have a proposed bylaw change. We put copies of it on your table. If you want, we can go through and read it, or if you like to expedite it, just make a motion to adopt. So moved. Seconded. Do you want any further amplification, or would you just get a vote? Explanation I can give you.
On
Give
your
you the short
table.
version or the long version?
It's on your table.
No further discussion, I guess.
All in favor? Opposed? Anybody abstaining? Motion carries. Thank you, Gary. Brian Sorrentino.
Okay, Susan put some flyers on everybody's table. I have a mouthful of food first. We're having a wrap-up party. Today, the fundraiser, our annual fundraiser is ending 6 o'clock. In order to celebrate, our guests, please cover your ears. We're going to meet at Parkway Tavern I know, I didn't know. I didn't know. At 215 and Flamingo in the north on the Beltway. You know where that is. Um, listen, everybody, give yourself a hand on this one. We just cracked over $40,000. Well, for our first run, when nobody knew how to do anything, so thank you everybody that participated in, even if you didn't. Thank you so much for supporting it. 6 o'clock is our cutoff, so if you can get any last minute donations, like this lovely lady just handed me a very generous one over here. We will still accept donations for this year's fundraiser at 6 p.m. and tonight to celebrate, and we'll see what we go. I don't know what our final numbers will be, but it's great with prizes for everybody that participated. Biggest team, highest, I guess, person who brings the most funds. Brian wanted to stand up real quick.
As some of you know, I have taken this very important. I don't want to ramble on, but I want to tell you where I've actually written this down. But yesterday, I received a text from my 23-year-old son, and he was in Maui, and he said, "Dad," he goes, "I checked my credit card concierge, even a place called Mama. So it's only $400 for 3 people." That is. So I responded to him. I said, "I want you to go log on to this link, and I want you to donate $100 of your money, of your money to this fundraiser. It helps our cause, get a tax receipt, and it's the right thing to do." Well, yeah, he followed through. And his response, my text was, "Dad, I've always got everything I wanted in life. Can't imagine not having the basics. So far from my reality." So, donation came in for $100 as I requested. And it said, he had the little four comment. It said, "For my grandma and the opportunities Rotary presented my father to allow me to dream big and have the best life possible." Ladies and gentlemen, that's the spirit of Rotary. And, I think that's the essence of fundraising. I have a couple more little comments. I'm sorry to take away from this, Katie, but I said, well, I'm not the fundraising chairman. I take this event personally. As I shared with you last week, I don't like this type of fundraising stuff myself, so that's irrelevant in our life. So there are kids right now that are going to school hungry and improperly dressed. We're sitting here at Rotary. Life isn't fair. That's the way the world works. But at the same time, a lot of kids start life late, 10 yards behind the starting line. And that's Rotarians, we ask ourselves, is it fair to all concerned? Well, if you started in a race 10 yards behind the starting line, the answer is it's not fair. And we as Rotarians have the opportunity to get kids at least starting. The entire club was informed of this event, yet almost 80% of the people have not participated in any way. Not only have we not helped the club's cause, but given this tremendous opportunity to build goodwill and better friendship. I haven't had one person who I spoke to tell me no. I even had 2 guys who personally asked about joining Rotary. So I would really like all of you to do something beneficial to all concerned. And the late great poker legend Will Brunson said, in order to have be successful as professional poker players, you have to have a total disregard for money. My father always said, it's just paper. You can always get more. How long will it take to get? So I ask each and every one of you to, in the next 6 hours, think through your pocketbook, try to raise yourself. Won't really affect your lifestyle. But again, certainly change your life.
So you raised your kid right, for sure. I'd like to take a minute to thank everybody helped put the meeting together today. Kathy Mahan and Anya Waggle set the room up. Antoinette Monroe and Larry Kahn were greeters. Kahn. Bob Kaiser for selling tickets. Jason Federico, our scribe today. Our photographer, Jim Tucker. David Jones doing the AV. And our cleanup today, John Kelly and Steve Latta. We have a few minutes for fellowship before I ask Austin to come up and introduce the speaker. Okay. Oh, I do have one little issue to deal with. Sean, I need tickets. And I have a set of keys here to a Mercedes. So I can go out in the parking lot and find out whose car it is. And I'll trade them. And it has a fish on it. So if anybody wants to make an offer. Is it yours? Okay. You should find me for having a nice car. Okay, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and do the raffle. The ticket to draw for the pot today, which last week was $1,856. Ticket number 6318448. It's a blue ticket. 8448. Is it you again? Tear it up. Here's $10. You're welcome. And the ticket for $50 in Lowry bucks, it's a red ticket, 6687606. Ginger. Are you guys fighting over it? Oh. 606. There you go. You're welcome. Hey. Austin, do you want to come up and introduce the speaker? In a few extra minutes.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. Austin Wyrick here. I was actually scheduled and told I was going to do this a couple of weeks ago, but I forgot, and Greg never sent me any info on them, so I know them as long as you guys do. But I can say, reading the articles there, these people are very impressive. It seems to be a good relationship here, working together and getting things done. I'd like to introduce Skip and Lisa. They'll tell you about themselves. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having us here today. We appreciate the time. Huddle, it's a gathering place. We opened we're a brewery. We made craft beer on Main Street in Imperial in Old Downtown in the Arts District.
we are very proud to be part of the solution of bringing that area back to life. And the city has done a very good job working with all the businesses there to bring the foot traffic back to that area. It's a safe place. You can spend the day there. You can find our antiques. You can find great food. You can find what we like to say great beer, and it's a wonderful opportunity just to be outside. And this last couple months, people have come back out, and it's been wonderful to see people out and about again. Huddle was a gathering place. We opened in October of 2020. So, and the community got us to the other side, and we couldn't be more proud of that. It's had its challenges for sure, and it's almost been a blessing because we feel like if we'd have opened up our business in what happened in April of last year, we probably would have failed. We opened at 50% capacity. 2 weeks after we opened, it was 25% capacity, and we could seat about 140 people inside and out. We were able to have somewhere about 16 people inside our building at that time, which was a challenge. But the community got us to the other side, and it was a bit hairy there for a while. We weren't sure we were going to be able to get to the other side. But we feel like we made good product. We feel like product is king, and we put the effort into making good product. And ultimately, the thing that I think helped us the most is being nice and saying thank you. People walk in the door, how are you doing? Welcome. And it's been a wonderful opportunity to meet some amazing people, and we've made some great friends with our local customers that come in and do a lot of our business.
Some of the things that we do at Huddle is some great opportunities to do. We sponsor quite a few events. We're actually doing an event with the museum on June 24th. It's going to be called Cocktails and Candelabras. We're sponsoring the beer for that event. They're doing a Liberace film of all his items. And so we're sponsoring that with them. We do a lot with various organizations down in the Arts District. We have a really good collaboration with next door. We have Soul Belly Barbecue, and that chef is an amazing chef. And they actually allow us to have the QR code on our table. You can order his barbecue from our table and they deliver. So that's been really, really nice, and it's been a win-win for both of us. And that's really a different model than any other breweries around here do, or restaurants. So we have embraced our neighbors, and therefore they all support each other. The city last year named that part of Main Street Brewery Road. We now have 5 breweries within that arts district area. And we refer, when our customers come in and they say if they're new and they go, where should we go next? We give them a list of these. We're not, we want to be partners with all of them because we're successful, they're successful, we're all successful together. And that's kind of our tagline. So Skip and I have worked together. We were just trying to calculate that out. We met years ago at a company that we were both helping to run. And we've been business partners now for many, many years. But he runs the back of the house, so he runs all the manufacturing of the beer and whatnot. I kind of run the front of the house with our tasting room manager, and I also do most of the finance, keep them in line. So,
when we were talking about the history of beer and the women in beer, we're very proud to have one of our brewers, Ashley. We'll have a picture of Ashley up here in a little bit, but and the beer community here in Las Vegas is there's a lot of women that are participating in manufactured beer, not behind the bar serving, but manufactured beer. Amber at Las Vegas Brew Company, she's the master brewer there. Ashley is one of our brewers. There's multiple assistant brewers in town, so the beer community has really embraced that, and it's we did great. We get a different insight. We have amazing beer, and it's been a pleasure to have all the different
what's the word I'm looking for? All the different hurdles that we as a community and the world is now facing, we try to eliminate that when you walk in our door. Yes. Maine and Imperial. So we're between Imperial and Colorado, or Imperial and Colorado, south of Charleston. South of Charleston. So there's trying to think of some of the I don't know if you're familiar with the Arts District. How many people are familiar with the Arts District? Oh, that's awesome. Because that's one thing that I think we're finding that not a lot of people know about the Arts District, or 3 years ago wouldn't have gone to the Arts District. And we try to do events out around town in Henderson, Summerlin, and those different places. And it's been interesting to see people that have lived here that don't know about the Arts District. So being able to get that word out and just bring people to the Arts District and celebrate everything that the Arts District has to offer has been a just wonderful opportunity for us. We talked to those. There were some other things like we have a beer that we just released this week. It's called the Patriot Shaggy Assassin. We're a big military family here, and our other partner was 20-year corpsman in the Navy. So we try to do our best to support the military and all the service and everyone who allows us to do what we're able to do on a daily basis. So we thank everyone who has served or is currently serving. We appreciate everything that you guys and ladies have done for us. We have it's called the Patriot IPA, and we worked really hard to make sure that all of the grain, hops, and even the yeast that we use were all here made in the USA. And we try to do as much as we can there. We've been looking and continuing to find different ways to make great beer. So we try to cover the Las Vegas created it's a unique opportunity here, and it also has tremendous hurdles. When we first opened up in 2020, it was 2 years prior to that we started to try to get some of the law change that would allow us to have the business model that we have now. And the city has been absolutely wonderful in working with that. The beer community here, Wendy with Craft House has been instrumental in getting a lot of the laws changed to allow us to go into business and provide a service that allows us to compete in the marketplace. Big beer has been huge here forever. The strip and the casinos have dominated that market, and the community and drink local and buy local and support local has changed how the strip is looking at local business. It's been a pay to play since its inception. We've been very fortunate enough that we've been able to get in there without paying to play. And it's because the community and people are wanting to support local, and they're starting to realize that, and they're putting local brands in those areas that it's never been available before. So it's been wonderful for that. So this is one of the things that we just started, and we were named one of the best breweries in the country with 13th best. We'll take it. It's subjective. Everything it's subjective, but we'll take it any time. It was we've had our challenges. The city's been involved and supportive. The community's been involved and supportive. It's been a challenge to find supply chain issues. We've had personnel issues. We've had struggle to find those. We've been very fortunate on our end that we've been able to compete, find those people and keep them employed and do what we do on a daily basis. It's the world's gone a little sideways in some fronts. I think maybe it's fair to say, maybe not, but that's my opinion. And it's been nice to see the community here. I moved here at 17, so I'm a newbie here, but the community here and the people here are spectacular. 118-degree weather for 90 days in a row, maybe not so much, but it is absolutely a wonderful place, and the community here and the people here have been amazing and supportive, and we couldn't do without everyone.
Couple of other things too, just to mention, we do events at our brewery, and we do full buyouts at the brewery. We've held several weddings, graduation parties from UNLV as well as high school. We are a 21 and over establishment, but if someone does a buyout, then children are allowed to come to the brewery. We host quite a few different groups. We host a veterans group. We're actually doing a veterans event 2 weeks from now on our patio. So we do quite a few events and bring in, like I said, different food. We have food trucks as well. That's coming this year with new parking down there. Can't hold spots anymore. So, but yeah, so our website lists all of our venues and items. So if any of you are interested or whatnot, and we'd love to see you down there. Wednesday nights we host trivia night, and that the locals all come. It's a sellout. You have to take reservations, but it's a fun night with all regular locals that come and play trivia. We just do prizes. So we try to make it a really fun environment for the community, but also good beer. On a side note, we also have good wine.
So I don't want to take any more time, but we appreciate everything. Any questions? Yes, please.
I'm talking again, and I never make beer. I it's like super hard water to have.
Absolutely. So beer is simple. Water, yeast, hops, barley, malted barley, grain. You have to have those. And what we have learned is that we have 4 different water sources that come through Main Street where we're at. We strip our water. We don't soften it. If we want to put any minerals or anything like that back into the water, depending on the beer style and where that beer originated, we'll try to mimic the mineral content of that water from that area and then go through and substitute that beer. But absolutely, the hard water here is and we have a reverse osmosis system that we run that strips the water. We strip it about 92%, and then we add back, depending on the beer style, what those minerals that we want to access to that particular beer style.
Thank you for being here.
Yes, ma'am.
It's subtle and accident.
Just a gathering place. It's a spelling of Hudble. We tried to be a little younger than we actually are.
Interesting conversation. Yeah, I'm not a beer drinker, and it's lovely, but everything here is alcohol.
Yes, we have. With the city, we're able to have it's called a beer wine room as our license, and then we have non-alcoholic products, sodas, things of that nature. But they're all in package, so everything you can, that would be that. And the other thing that we pride ourselves on for those non-beer drinkers is that we like to come into our place and we offer a flight where you can try different beers. And my goal when someone comes in and says, I don't drink beer, is my question is do you consume alcohol? And if you consume alcohol, if it's a wine or if it's a spirit, that we may be able to have a beer that you can consume and go, oh, I can drink this beer. And that's a win for us, And if not, we have a water cooler over in the corner and you won't go thirsty.
I was first Friday, is it far enough away where the reach the traffic? How easy is it?
What was the last part? Parking. So on the parking side of it, I'll answer that one first. There was the city came through and made all paid parking on all the streets, and they put into parking lots in an effort to generate funds to put in a parking structure. There's no question we need parking there, and it's extremely reasonable. But parking is a problem there for sure. If there's only so many spots. As far as downtown, as the first Friday goes, right before COVID, they would have a crossing, and you could very easily get across Charles so the traffic would move back and forth. Since that, they've really, First Friday is all on the north side of Charleston. And Charleston is it's a big road. You don't want to cross that. You know, the police aren't there to stop traffic and allow like the pedestrians to go back and forth. So on Fridays now, at some point early on during when things started to come back around, it had a negative effect on our business. But now that all the restrictions are lifted and we're kind of getting back to having people out and about now, it's just changed it to where it's about at 8:30 to midnight or so is when the traffic really starts to come back down. So what we have found is that we have a big influx between 3 and 6 o'clock. Then they head off, do what they're doing, and then they'll come back later. But so and I don't know that it's helped, and it certainly hasn't hurt.
I'd like Tony, I've been known to have a beer or two now and then. For those of us with a home bar and takeaway, do you sell your draft beers in 6 barrels or 4 barrels or anything like that?
Yeah, we have sixels, which is 5 gallons, and then 15.5 gallons, which is a half barrel. So,
Okay. The other question is, I see you have a patio area outside. Anything that you do with the cigar store? How large is that patio, or is it something that we could reserve to have a cigar event there? Is that possible?
no, it's all non-smoke.
All non-smoke. Good.
Thank you for coming. I'm looking forward to a visit. Recently in the local paper, there was a story that said Gordon Burge on Paradise is closing down, and they quoted the management saying that it took craft brewery. Do you have any story behind that as to why that might be happening?
Well, I think it's more of an interest of not being able to afford the rent. The same thing happened with Banger in Fremont. Both of those two breweries are no longer in business. And it's the rent and cost of that property, those locations. And Gordon Beer said that particular building's been there. They've been a part of the beer community here for a long time. And it was a shame to see them go. And not being here, not being a local, but that part, it's kind of as close as it is to the strip, it might as well be in the arts district. It's how things are starting to change, and the strip does such a good job of keeping their patrons there. But costs are real, for sure.
2 questions. First one, I'm originally from St. Louis, so beer is food for me, and from back there. So craft beers also. We have one of my favorite craft beers, first of all. I love going out to the art district to visit you guys, but I have seen your beer at multiple locations like Lifeguard Arena, Parkway Tavern. What other locations in town are craft?
I wish I had a really good list that I could put out there for you. But from what we understand with our distributor, we're in about 95 different locations around town, and we're really fortunate. We just got our product in the airport. So that's been really cool. So we have the opportunity to hit those tourists that come in with beer made in Nevada, and then we can hit them again on the way out. So it's been a wonderful opportunity for us to try to really grow the craft beer community here in Las Vegas. And so we have Lee's Liquor, Liquor World, Total Wine, PD Mart, Smith, Albertsons. We've been very fortunate to that our beer's been in the places that we're blown away that we've gotten there in year 2.5, and we're at some of these places that we would have never thought possible.
My other question is, do you have a booth?
No. But, however, out in Henderson, there's a brewery called Mojave Brewing Company, and they have a license to brew cider. We have 1 or 2 of their ciders on draft all the time. So we have currently right now we have a punk lemonade and a pear cider, strawberry lemonade cider, and a pear cider that are.
So there are 5 breweries in in that immediate area, right there south of Charles. Is this, or I was gonna say, having that group of breweries makes it beneficial. Are you gonna encourage more so that people will apply it, or how does that work?
We feel that there's an opportunity, the more the merrier. Let's make the pie bigger. And what we're finding now for the first time is that a group of four will come in and, hey, you guys are from out of town, three of them will be out of town, one of them's a local. We came here, we wanted to come to the arts district. They didn't, they wanted to experience and show them something outside of just what the perception of Vegas is. And the arts is still allowing that to take place now. And B, we're right in the back door, we're right there, we're right there. So it's convenient, it's easy, and it's a completely different vibe than what the should is.
Hi, I'm Susan. My son was UNLV and he took a class that had to do with learning about wine and learning about beer. We started with beer and we just started doing news.
We on occasion will have some mead. There's a local meadery out in Henderson now. They are just getting their production up and going, and we're waiting for their production to get to. They're trying to produce more, so we can put it on draft at our place as well.
I'll throw in a question. What's the regulatory process for producing and being able to make beer?
It's a pretty thick manual. I'll be honest with you, we just went through an audit with the state and we learned some things that we had no idea about. Some of them positive and some of them a little scary. But the city in general has been fabulous working with us. We didn't, for example, when we got things closed down, the city came through and gave us temporary food license. So we don't do any food. We don't prepare food at our place. But they came in and gave us some temporary food license to where we could come in, put a little small kitchen in and make some things to where we could keep the doors open and still have some revenue generate. There's two different things that are, or two different scenarios or positions that are being taken by the groups of the breweries in town. Now that the community is growing, the beer community is growing, some of the breweries now are trying to put in a second location. We're a three-tier state, meaning we can't self-distribute, so we have to go through a distributor. And so we're continually trying to work on legislation changes that would allow us to deliver our beer to our second location and not have to go through a distributor. That would be one of the things that we tried to get through a long-term year, and it did not go through. But for the most part, it's the beer police don't exist. We've been very fortunate there. But it's the thing that's been the most challenging has been health department and the licensing required to do a food pop-up or have a band come in and play or to do things that are outside of making beer, pointed out of our tap and serving it to you sitting inside of our building. And it's been a challenge to find information quickly enough where you can make a decision and then you go, I think we're good, and you go down the path and you're not. So that's been interesting to learn how to navigate some of those little areas because there's no manual that says, hey, this is what you need to do. And breweries, we fall under tavern, and our environment is not nice. That's not what we are. We close at 11 o'clock. We open at 11 and close at 11. Things that happen after midnight, not much good happens after midnight. So we try to avoid that as much as we can. But the industry is so new here, and gambling has been such a big prevalent part of that. When we sat down with the city and we sat down with the county, we're like, hey, we just want to make beer and we don't want to have any gambling. And they were like, did you hear that correctly? You don't want to have any gambling. But no, we wanted to create an environment that the locals could come and enjoy something really nice without having ding, ding, ding and all the things going on and not being on the strip. Because there is a whole different world outside of the strip here in Vegas, and we're super proud to be a part of that.
I'm not sure if it's good, bad, or indifferent, but my buddy is a pastor. And he's really that's out of Boston. We have a next door excellent health staff plus the facility and plus the guys for the staff. I feel about half an hour, so haven't been excellent experience. 3 years.
We appreciate those kind words. One of the things that we said when we were gonna, that there was two things that we looked at when we were hiring on staff. One was, are they the right fit? That could be determined a little bit, but the second one was nice. We felt like that we could train them about beer, how to taste beer, how to talk about beer, but we can't teach nice. And that was the thing that stuck with us. So we really try to check off those first two boxes. And we've been very fortunate that when we've checked those boxes off, it's been a pleasant experience. And hearing that it means so much. So thank you for those kind words. Well, that's Ashley. The world's going to run out of names for sure one day. We started going through and trying to find names for all the different beers we were going to do, and we would Google them and see if someone had them. And Shag Assassin came up at 2:00 one night. We were up there talking about it, and it stuck. So, and that's kind of where that one came from. But we try to create like if you come into our place, it's going to be a nice, we call it a chill vibe. You can come and relax. There's no theme. We want each one of our beers to be their own franchise and have their own name and be able to do different things with just what the beer is. So we try to have a bunch of different fun names, and some of the names mean something that some don't. It's just the name we try to have some fun with. This next one we're going to look at is a collaboration we did with Trustworthy Brewing, who is on this trip in the canal shop there at the beach. And so this is a really nice time that we had to do just to really to let the community know that there is a great craft brewery on this trip. That particular beer was a raspberry sport. It's just something we had to fun with. One of the old things is Christian Life fantastic. One of the old things back in the 30s, 40s with the dancing. We had a great dance with the partner or whatever. And so Christian Life fantastic. So it was a raspberry white chocolate porter that we did. So we had some fun with that. But we do all the different beer styles. I brought a few cans. We'll put them back up there just to kind of see some of the different styles that we do and different artwork that we try to have fun with. But we appreciate your time today. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you down there at some point.
Thank you for being here today. It sounds like a good opportunity for an outing. Who you can be in charge. We would like to present you each with a Soul Power Award, which represents a pair of shoes for your child in your name. And we have certificates that I don't have right here. I will make sure that you get them. Appreciate you. And I do have one of our annual books that I can present to you. So thank you so much for being here. there will be a meeting of the board right after, I believe, in the vintage room. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.